off at groups, groupings. I don't know if you have any question around there. Do you have questions about content uploads? Yes, sir.
Mine is not a question. Probably
Yes, sir.
just
Okay.
how you go to the groups.
The groups, okay.
You go to the groups, the grouping, the process.
The process, okay. That is okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. When we were uploading the videos, there was one option for post download. Under what circumstances can you select the first download?
Okay. Only that. Okay. Do we have any from those online? Do you have any questions for our colleagues online? Jafet, you had something you were asking. Can you please rephrase it again? If you're still online. Jafet had, I think, an issue. It was a query, and wanted to find out why don't we have a uniform platform for all the forum universities? If I'm not mistaken. We have a response to that.
Yep.
Yes, that was his query. To have a same platform for all university, forum universities. If it's an LMS, it should look the same features, same everything.
No, it's a very difficult to arrive at that because remember that one of the most important aspects of the university is academic freedom. That's why even in terms of regulation, even if we were like not for education, you can never say university should have the same grade. Really, each university should decide on how their teaching and learning should be. So we are not, first of all, we are not a regulator, but even if we are a regulator, we respect the academic freedom of the university to be able to decide. So the purpose of this, for example, the forum e-learning platform is to help support, because we are capacity building, to support capacity building in areas that we think are starting. And of course, remember, this is not a certificate awarded or but to support you towards your various experience.
Thank you. Under what circumstances we have forced download. Now, usually, when you're in Professor Yudi's presentation, he did mention that it's always important that we communicate with these people so that they don't miss a point. So a first download will come in at a moment that you know this is core, the unit you're teaching as a course instructor, and each and every student must have these, some of the references. And that's why when you opt for a first download, they are forced to download and go through them. But also at the description level, you should be able to describe what is within that folder and how important it is that they should not simply bypass, move to other areas within the session, within the course, and leave that part untouched. So that it's very, very important that you not let them know. Then when it comes to groups, I want to use one of, I don't know which course I should use. Which course should I use? Now, this is what we say that the moment you set maximum activities for completion, for tracking, the system keeps tracking at the student level. And you also know at your level as the staff or as an instructor, a course instructor, that yes, my course, they need to go to attend 30% of the activity that was just put out there. So if it is very low, then you're forced to go back and find out why. Do they come and join or they don't come? What could be the reason? So that's why we have turn on that. So which one should I use? Give me a course I should use for groups and groupings. Random.
Scientific data management.
I've overplayed for my own course. I want to go to another course. So I'm opening this for the first time. Whenever you access a unit for the first time, this is what happens. We assume that you're visiting the room for the very first time, so we take you around the room. And this is just the tour that takes you around the room. So for my case, I don't need to navigate anywhere. I know where to go, so I just enter the tour, and then we look through all this. Before I answer the group's bit, there's something that I've seen there that is very interesting. When we were looking through her course, we had a lesson. Well, we had self-paced kind of where they had to click enter and we were looking for different activities. You remember? Now, I would confuse that for a SCORM. I hope you know what a SCORM is. It's shareable content, reference, model, I think. Now, the difference is, if you look at your course, it's lacking an area where we could have certain activities done. And if you look at this, in this form, the way it is, this, now this one, we use the content clustering tool to be able to come up with this content. I think those that were here sometime back went through some of these tools, but I just want you to see a difference. Now, when we do this course, for example, and we move down. Now, this is how it looks like. It's a little bit different from what yours looked like. And when you say enter course, you will to open up the structure of all these content. So this is what we use. This is for a SCORM now. I don't know if they were able to put certain activities in here, but when you look at number one here, it gives you this, the introduction to the course, and then you have an option to move either next or backward or move back to the top or next or even move to the last item. Now, this, if it is very well done, so at the end of this, then it's to mark that activity being complete. At the end of it, will be marked complete. But within it, I don't know if I have any. This one. It's not bad. Let me just give you an example here.
There are multiple questions at
the end.
At the end of
What Okay, I'm trying to find it.
Introduction to statistics and biologies. At the end, there is end of module 3, please.
Go to introduction.
Introduction, yeah, the next one,
This one, which one?
when you go to the end, there is an end of module.
This one, end of module,
Yes.
please. Okay.
There's a problem because of the date.
Yeah, because of the dates.
That we speak to each
So it's on 17th May.
other. Yes.
So
But we can edit it, even.
you want to edit it there? Okay. So as she's editing, we are going to come back and visit it to see what is there. As she does so, I want to move to groups and groupings. We said we can do a groupings, we can do groups depending on how big our size, the size of our classes are. That is to say, you want to have certain activities accomplished in groups. One, you want your learner to be able to participate. It is a section for computer management, rather course management at the top of your course, it is somewhere around there. And when you look at it, you say you can manage students, course. Now these are activities from the school packages and these are the activities. Sorry, I don't have that. You do.
It is there
Yes, you look at
on the left.
now. You look at the name of the course.
No. Your which code? Your own you should be there.
Yes, that's what
Your own code, which is
Yes, so there. Are you able to see this? That engine on off. Within this area that is greenish, you see? So it is here. Yes. So it depends on the size of the screen. Okay. So under computer management, now we are having this, the name change to this because when we're in that same course, we have a SCORM package. That's why we have this SCORM. That means we can manage the SCORM. So
I don't need to edit the questions.
No, you don't need to.
It's
Only the dates, just want to have a look at. So this is the question bank. Oh, nice. Which module was it, 2 or 3?
introductory statistics and languages. It's up.
It's internet. It's just dancing us around.
Which can I connect up with? You. Frank, you can connect to mine.
This is. Yeah. It's
So we enter the quiz. Going into this quiz, so we say then this is an activity that is embedded as part of the content that was uploaded. So it says how many staff does the forum have? What has
It is not.
So you choose. You choose 3. Then somewhere
next.
you do next. Next.
Are you displaying one question?
One person at a time. You do next. Then it's, I think, internet, but that's how it happens that someone within the notes, they have an activity. So once they are done with all what we have been able to go through, now they come to the activity. Now, these activities should be able to relate back to the different parts of your content that you uploaded for them. So if you fail probably number 1, then you'll know I didn't understand it very well. Now, that is the same kind of feel we have, or that we must have when it comes to the LMS here. So under computer course management, I don't know why I always mention computer management. Now we have what is question bank? Find it here. Then I should be able to come. Management. Is activity?
Go back to course management.
Course management. We have
Question bank, yes.
yes, we have the question bank here.
Yes, so many things. I think the quiz, when you do quiz.
So we can pick questions from the question bank. Now, while we are testing our learners, can either do an assignment, which is can be a take home for a period of time. We can do a quiz, which is timed, and the quiz can either be multiple choice, it can be essay, it can be matching, it can be, where are my things here? Can be multiple choice, short answer, numerical, whether in mathematics and physics, random short answer matching, selecting mixing words, true and false. There are third-party question types. There are so many that the system can actually give you. You simply have to make a choice. That is one. Now, the same thing that the system will give you, you find them still under the content authoring software like Hot Potato and EXE. These were done using EXE. So we are going to use the system to be able to come up with a short quiz. Now, this quiz will, one, either you type the questions there and then, or you go and pick some of these questions from the question bank. Take an example. If you want to put up a quiz here, so we are going to turn it off, it's on. Let me go and put a quiz here. So add activity or resource. This time I am going to look out for a quiz. What is this? Now, when I get this quiz, I can even make this an exam. The resource itself is called a quiz, but we can modify this quiz resource to actually give us an actual exam. So we give it a name, maybe end of module exam. End of module exam. We can describe what the exam is all about. Maybe say the instructions, 30 hours, 30 minutes, or 1 hour, what you expect them to do, and so on. The way you do it, you have exam rules and regulations that you have in institutions where you come from. You put them here for these people. So once you're done, you set display. The next item would be, you come to timing here. When do you want that quiz to take place? What to take place today? Maybe starting at 4 p.m., which is 16 hours, minutes, and we want you to have 1 hour. So it is starting at 4, ending at 5, and that is 17 hours or sometimes. So because of this, we enable time limit here. But how much time should it be? So that is about 60 minutes. It can be hours, depending on how you want it to appear, seconds, hours, days, or even weeks. So I'm choosing 60 minutes, which is basically 1 hour. Then what should happen when time expires? We have people who may have challenges of connectivity. And you also have people who may have opened up a specific window to do their exam. So as we set this, then we must have all this at the back of our mind. The nature of the learners we have, their competences, and even the environment where we are. So there are a number of options here. One may say that as soon as time elapses, the system will automatically submit whatever was open. That means the person has no time. The moment it says 0 minutes or 0 seconds, done, time gone or time up, the system automatically submits on behalf of the candidate. Then we have other options here where someone is given a grace period. Okay? So that under the open window, there are about 50 questions. Someone is able to finish the 50 questions and then submit. Then the last one, that that one allows them to always submit before time has elapsed. As long as time has elapsed, whatever you do there and then is invalid. So you choose what is appropriate to you. From that section, you may come to the grading, how you want the grading to be done, depending on what you have. Grading categories, you can, okay, what is that? So you can set the pass mark here. That at the end of the exam, once they are done doing the exam, whoever has not gotten maybe 75%, the system should mark that person. Then you move down to attempts allowed, depending on the reason why you're putting up this assignment or this quiz. Is it for learning purposes? Is it an actual exam? So an actual exam, basically you attempt once. You fail, you fail. So what we have is unlimited. Come and change it only once. When you change it once, then you come to the layout. You're simply laying out how the first page is going to be. That's what we are doing. So what should happen every time we get to a new page? How many questions do you want to have on a new page? You can say, I want to have 3, 5, 10, and so on. So you specify. If you want about 10 questions, that means each page you're going to have about 10. You can even have as many as 50 questions per page. Let's say you want to have 20 questions per page. You leave it at that. Now you go to the question behavior. Even when you're doing an exam in a supervised environment, some people may write on pieces of paper and they keep exchanging. Others may write it on their palms. Others may exchange question papers. There are all sorts of tricks they always do to make sure at least there is an exam cheating that takes place within the exam. So what happens here? Usually when you're online, it's very interesting. When you set an exam, all of you may have the same number 1. So that would mean that say number 1, it's like it is we're in church for prayers. Number 1, B, everyone puts B. Number 2, they look for one of the brightest learners within the same class. So now you're the one going to do for us the exam. So what you do, you look at the question behavior, and then you shuffle these questions. Make sure that now my number 1 is maybe your number 30, maybe his number 20, something like that. And you always make sure that we don't put very many questions on the same page. Okay, this means that having better questions on the same page is not good. I should limit them to 10.
Just a minute.
Yes, sir.
This particular feature also helps to ensure that, there are people who like retaking. You do it once, and then now later, when you submit, you find that you have got your mark, lower grade. So you want to do it again. Now what will happen is that if the second time you are doing, what came in as number 1 in the first time you did, it's no longer
number 1. Okay. Yes.
I had a scenario at my parents where the last time I had a normal exam, my students would do, they would sit like this particular way. Although my first questions were shuffled. So they would say this particular question with this answer. They first go into a round, then later they go to the system. So it would not matter whether I got number 1 and it's always number 2.
So in that case, what you do, you set up the quiz, the question, and say we are going to have test on Friday, and the test is going to be for 1 hour. This 1 hour, you set to say the question is going to, you are going to open it to be available from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So let's see if within that time they are going to apply it.
There are those ones who can submit within 10 minutes. They will now accept
It is okay.
and then they get it.
No, we are going to see that.
So the best deactivate because in most cases they allow you to provide them with their questions and their marks. So immediately the first person you will see that in the first 10 minutes has got 10 out of the starting. So that person is the one who will provide the answer to the rest of them. Who will be using that as a match. So middle after 10 minutes, you will see others submit a certain level. And they are getting 100. You wonder why, but that is investing. Reducing the time limit. Just tell them is the 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Why? For you, you know, in the actual sense, the students are supposed to take like 40 minutes. There you would have eliminated any kind of whatever.
Yes.
Those guys who wait for others.
I love the class now. I thought I was getting worried because we were coming for lunch.
What we did,
Legend.
yeah. I think we didn't take that approach. We were taking an approach of practical, something practical, such that a student cannot send one. But that is if it's an exam that has like 12 or more than 8 or 9 hours. But if you want to examine short term, a short period of time, then you think it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
For master students, normally I do an open book in 3 hours, 5 sessions. If they need to sit and start, they will not finish. That means they fail.
Okay,
So 3 hours, open book, 5 questions.
thank you.
If
I
they
think,
don't have time to read them.
Thank you very much. I think this comes back to what I mentioned when we were starting this regular session. There are different exam modes. Can have open book, can have take home, you can have this quiz, you can have an exam in a supervised environment, non-supervised environment. Now, all this calls for your vigilance as a course instructor to know the type of learners. If I know we are 20, I cannot give you an exam, even if it is multiple choice, and I make 20 numbers on the same page. Because I know each person is going to pick a number and then you share. Rather, I'll simply put 5 questions. So now you sort yourselves, that is 1, 2. If I know you're going to copy, then I am going to shuffle them, that is 3. Or yeah, 3, 4. I'm going to make sure that I limit the time. Yeah. If I'm supposed to give you 1 hour, I'll give you 40 minutes. So it's up to you.
To copy the thing, only the question.
Yes, and be able to. 4, I'll make sure that automatically the system submits any open attempts. I don't give you time to finish up the open attempts because I know you're going to move around circles. So I also make sure that I think a little bit ahead of you and make life a little bit hard for you to do what you want to do. Yes. And then lastly, that's where we're going. There is this bit here. Whenever you do an exam, chances are high that you're going to have your feedback. Get to know what you got correct, what you got right.
And that's also another
Yes.
trick you can use.
Yes.
To-
And in most cases, what people do, we have what we call sacrificial lambs, who will sacrifice themselves to fail the exam, so they get to know the correct and wrong answers for the rest of the group. So what you do, you give deferred feedback. Now, this deferred feedback simply means that people are going to be able to see that feedback at the time when the 60 minutes have elapsed. Before the 60 minutes are gone, no one is going to be able to see their marks and their feedback. Therefore, they will not know which one is correct and which one is wrong. Okay? There is defined feedback with the CBM. Now, CBM is goal-based marking. I'm very sure you know what this stands for. Okay? Then there's also feedback interacting with multiple tries. Now, this one usually happens if you're giving an assignment or an exam or a quiz for information. You want people to understand your unit much better. And that will therefore mean that the times, the tries you're going to have for this are going to be limited to maybe 3 or 4 times. For an actual exam, it must be once. That's what we said. Yes, sir.
I thought probably the main purpose of the exam test in this case is to reinforce learning, so the score science. So if I'm doing it
I remember even at my graduate level when I was doing Cisco training, it was very clear. The first one is for you as quiz every course or every week, you can set up quiz, which is just covering what has been done that week. At that time, you are going to set it such that a student knows whether he has got something well, right or not, and you're not going to avoid them. So there you can set all these parameters to allow, for example, the question to be there many times, to allow the feedback to be given, so on. And even you can give
into this agenda, and you know that the exam is supposed to be 6 days. And when you research that they do in 30 minutes, how it can be right?
I can answer that. Nobody, no university will say every question should be, every examination should be 30. Look, when we go to do interview, for instance, when we decide to test, have to do run aptitude test, you say one question, one minute. Many of us have gone through it. You see, so it is you as the professor who should know amount of time to be allocated. So the period is given 3 hours and what have you, but your question is still specifically for you. That one, no university, I don't think the university will be against that.
I'm not saying the university. I want to say that me, as the examiner, I know that this test is fairest time for them to complete, because that's what we want to say. 16 minutes.
Yeah, but 60 minutes, but if you hear what Ellen is saying, that the 60 minutes, if they are going to go to
We are going to do it in syndicates.
then you will then maybe have other, this is normally if you work with a combination of measures. If you know that somebody is in Amuria, another one is in Kampala, you will not even mind about that. You can even set it like 1 day. Like you let the quiz be active for 1 day, because somebody is traveling somewhere, you still give them opportunity, this you can do it. But where, for example, where Helen is saying, you are giving test, but these students are studying together, and you know they collaborate, they call it collab, you know, they have this collaboration. You can tighten it. You have it.
There's another scenario whereby the student has maybe network problems and is not able to connect to certificate at maybe 4 p.m. So what you can do is that you can open it between 4 and 5. That's a 1 hour period. But you get that 1 hour period to make sure that when you start attempting immediately,
You count it down.
certain needs.
Yeah.
So, but you have to combine that feedback mechanism. Because if you give the first people the feedback with certain needs, they will notify the other ones immediately. They are not who are waiting specifically. They don't have a problem, but they are waiting that you do it. I will attempt to reach that. So for them, they will only spend 10 minutes and they get 100%.
And you keep learning how their behavior is. But the most important thing now for now is you technically learn all these.
Now, this person, and also the system is not a feedback. The time and the period this person has spent. That's the best information you can use actually to judge who has cheated and what. Because it shows you that so and so logged in at 14:30 or at 4:30. This one got 100% and only spent 10 minutes. Then the other one was who logged in at 4 exactly. Submitted at 4:55. That one spent 55 minutes, but the other one only 30%. So those are the people who feel they are free. So you can also enable something like people in safe browsers, which can lock you into the screen that you don't know. There are those ones who go outside and start doing and what and searching on the notes. But if you lock the machine and say that you cannot move away from here, your concentration that is not allowed.
Okay, thank you very much, members. Now, there is this. If you set 10 questions, there is navigation method, these two. One is free. That means any question will come on the screen for anyone. Now, the other one is sequential, meaning number one, number one, number one, number one. So usually we leave it at free to allow the shuffle of questions to happen, as opposed to sequential. So once that is done, you move down to a review. During an attempt,
Is it possible to, if you said you want people to 20 questions, is it possible to have 100 questions so that they can get different?
yeah, you don't need to worry. 20 means that one page, when they open up a page like this, it has 20 questions.
Yeah.
The next 20, the next page, 20 on the next page.
No, saying you have 100, but if you're only going to
Yeah, if you have 100.
so meaning they are going to get that much of
Because there is the bank where you are going to pick the question.
You're looking them from the bank.
Yeah, but also now when you really pick them from the bank, the quiz say really all those ones. Yes.
But we really want to bring free flow and stuff.
No, but the people can. Somebody takes out of government. You give another 20.
It sounds.
But that one is not fair.
That's not fair. Somebody say you
Let's
give me
go
this
this
easier one.
Anyway, so when you the attempt to the exam, all these ones are inactive. No one can see the attempt. None of these people can see what they are accepting. Whether correct or not, they don't know. Marks, they don't know. Feedback, nothing. Okay. Now, when an attempt has been done, these are possible. So you choose. What do you want them to see?
Okay, let me explain. Somebody is answering a question, like a objective. You select, then against that question, you say submit. Then immediately tell you that this is wrong.
Correct.
This is right. You see? Yeah? Or would you want, like after you reach to a page, you have answered the 5 pages, 5 questions per page, and you are going to the next page. Before that, is a variation. See? So you are free to say, but you see, best practice would then be maybe you give the overall.
So now what happens within that periods? Because they may be able to share the feedback, you're going to leave the annotate, all the rest are going to leave marks. So one is able to only see their marks alone, what they have gotten. Until the exam is done, when the quiz is done and it's closed, that no one will have any attempt, that's when they'll be able to see the rest of the other feedback. I don't know if you are getting it there.
So you see, you play with those combinations.
And while the quiz is still open, you also uncheck all of them.
You can uncheck while the quiz is still open and leave marks.
Again, this is depending.
It depends on you and the
one.
intent.
For example, during the time like it's not an examination. Yeah, you may leave it. That's why it is a choice. You get that?
Like pay, then I go to the second page.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe just want for them to like end of chapter kind of freeze. You get. So this is not like an examination. Remember, assessment has got different purposes. So this is just a way you can configure them the way you want.
Okay. So now we have the set browser, which he mentioned. There are some of our learners, when you give them an exam, especially an online exam, they are going to open two windows. One window is for the exam, the other window is for Google. So reads there, goes to Google, it comes back. So what you do, you set up, you activate set exam browser, that is exam browser. So what it happens, you may upload your own configurations as an institution, or you may have it configured manually, or even use this. So usually we also attach, this is where we use the AI bit, where we are going to do the exam proctoring. That's why we also add it in here. To make sure that we are having an exam that is foul-proof.
It's a keyword examination browser. What?
Set browser. Yes. So once that is done and you activate that, then you're able to configure the settings for the self-exam browser. Then you can also give it a password. Why do you give a password? In many cases, even in this room, if you say we're accessing the X, Y, and Z, we will not all access it at the same time. Some will be too fast, others will be too slow. So what you do, you let everyone access up to the password section. Then you wait for all of them at once. When you're sure that they now have the password section, then the password is X, Y, Z. Punch in, and then timing starts at that moment. That's when it starts. So after putting in that, you put that as well, and then when all that is done, you say availability, this is the fair. If you had some groups, and for an example, for a specific group still, you go back to your groups and attach the groups or the group links.
What does the second browser?
Okay, what it does, the moment you open up that exam, it opens a new window. It covers the window where you pick the exam from, and it puts this window for the exam at the forefront. Yes, and which covers everything behind.
So you can't open it.
You cannot minimize it. You're not supposed to open anything else. Should you open? Should you? Yes, I'm coming. Oh, yes, I'm coming. Yes. Should you open up anything else on the same machine, the system will assume that you are cheating. Therefore, it will close the exam automatically. That is one. Now, in the event that you can have another device somewhere, that's when I say that we have an exam proctoring software that is embedded within the safe browser. That the moment you sit behind the screen, it's going to activate the camera on the screen. So as your eyes keep looking the other way around, the assumption is you're looking at someone be able to cheat. Therefore, still it will close. How?
That's matters with children around.
Normally, you know, when examination is happening, there's a briefing session that's supposed to be. That's why even for international certification, they have the how do you call it? Testing center.
It's a testing center.
Yeah.
So you pay to go to a testing center. Everything is set up for you. You only get in, access the exam, sit and go.
So
You don't look anywhere.
depending on the level of toughness of your student, and you can always go higher and higher. We never go defeated in these things.
So once all that has been done, then you finish setting up the exam environment alone, not the exam itself. So you've been able to set your exam environment, not the exam itself. So
What is it that at grade to pass it saying you must enter a number here?
Yes, if you remember, if you go back down, there was something else down there.
You are on mute, David. We can't hear you.
Hello?
No, we have to repeat. I think the mic went off.
Yeah, we can hear now.
Okay, thank you. So you picked the different questions. Picked this. Remember, I said shuffle. Okay, so once you're done, then somewhere here, add selected questions. Now our quiz is complete. That is our quiz. So this is maximum grade is 10. So shuffle and then save. So the exam is complete. So if you go back to end of exam module, we shall have our exam here, which is 1 hour. Okay. And then you should be able to start this exam as a student. At the level of a student, when you go back to roll here, and then you come as a student, you'll be able to have this. Now, depending on the timing, says 3, 1, 17th February. That's it. So now it says we cannot have it now. You know why? Excluding Thursday, 16th February, 17th February. That means our timing was poor. So you just go back and take the timing to reflect this time, and once that is done, then the next thing you're going to sit down here is attempt quiz. Then you attempt the quiz and you keep counting down until that is done. So I wanted us to look at how do we add some of these questions. As we say, you can add one question at a time. Yes, madam. So as we said, you can add one question at a time. So allow me open up Notepad here. And allow me share the Notepad instead. Okay. Francis, can you see this?
Yeah.
No, from the machine.
Yes.
I was just. Hmm?
No. We share. Actually, you share the screen so that it's. Yes.
Okay. So this is where we can use a notepad to add a few questions. So what you do, you type it the way you see that. That is, you put your question on the same line. Then you put your options as they appear here. An option, period, space, and then the option itself. Then down, you specify which one is the answer. Okay? So out of this is the answer. So it's answer, period, space, and then answer. Now, the way you see this, it is as it is supposed to be. If you don't put a space in between, you're going to get an error. So it must be on the stem line, everything. You don't number. Say this is number 1, 2, 3, 4. No. You don't number. Between the first and the second number question, there is a space in between. So you keep typing the whole one sentence, A, B, C, and then you put the answer. The next one until you're done. When you're done, you save that into, you come to file, save as, file, save as, you give it a name, sample, questions, and then down here, down here, under the encoding, you make sure that you use an encoding of UTF-8. That's very, very key. UTF-8. And once you're done, then you save your file. And I'll save it and file. Once you're done, you can even close this. Okay, so what you do next, you now go back to your LMS. You go back to your LMS and go back to your LMS. At your LMS, you move to a question bank.
Course management, course administration here.
Question bank. And then you come to questions here. So what you do here, You come to import. Under imports, you choose icon formats. These are all options that you can actually pick. If you had an exam that is about missing word format, that's what you go for. WebCP format and so on that you're taking, icon formats. And then down, this is where we drop our file. So you go to your desktop. Desktop. Pick your file, come and drop it there. Once you're done, you say import. So as long as everything is okay, you have really all through. If there is a problem, you're going to get errors, red, and they'll tell you where that error is. So you actually go back to the notepad, look at that error, correct it, and then import again. Once you're done importing, when this is a program, this is now fine. You simply say continue, and then you have the questions imported into your question bank. So you take your time, create your questions, go through them very well, have them imported into the LMS. Your work will almost be done. I have seen people sweating with these things. We've done them for the PhD sessions of Nkumba, and I've seen them sweating very much. So they are not easy.
You see, I think the most important point to take from now, quiz can really shorten your work. And you can have there many, many questions in your bank. And then you decide, for example, to pick just a few, put them as quiz. You can use them as maybe, so like I would advise that for every week or every topic you have, select some, put them, let them practice, put them in the bank. Okay. So in the end, you can even add more questions and mix them up and then set them as your exam. It's very easy. I do that at all levels. For some courses. But above all, it is important that you then gain the experience of doing it. So when you actually get your questions, you copy it from wherever it is, and you take the notepad. Okay? Very easy. What he said there, which is important, is in the notepad, it is devoid of any formatting. It's just a command, this instructions. So any line, the space is not known. I mean, at the end of the what? At the end of your line. If a different line is to come, you have to just press enter and then you start something different line. The line has no ending. Okay? So those things like the full stop space, it tells the computer a lot what it is. But what is important is that you specify the answer. You write answer, then full column, you say which one. So you can do that for a multiple choice, whether the choices are 10 or what, or you do that for true or false, this Boolean thing, and so on. Yeah, of course, some other time you can explore your own. The nature of other questions, like the ones to fill in the missing gap and so on. But this is the easy one, really. Yeah. But then you already know you have to get your questions, then save them somewhere, and then you import to the bank. Now, when you're going to set your quiz, you go to your sources, then you pick the quiz, add questions from the bank.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
In specifying response, and use ABCD. Second,
Traces.
option and the words.
Mm.
It would full stop or it closing brackets. What about if you open?
It will not work. That's why I said as it was. Of course, I was avoiding using certain terms and I just mentioned as it was or as it is. I can open it again. So it must be on the same line, start with. So the questions must be on the same line, that is one. Each answer must start with an uppercase letter. If you look at the notepad we had, that's what we had. And we are saying each answer must start with an uppercase letter. So you say for each of these, this is uppercase for each. The sentence moves the way it's supposed to move as a sentence case. And then down here, we must have the periods. It's either this or the full stops. And then down here, the answer itself must be in because you're trying to separate it from the rest of the other options. So the answer line must immediately follow, starting with the word answer, with a space after the colon, and then give the letter for the correct answer. Something to note that the letter, the word answer, and the choices you make must be in uppercase. Altogether, friends.
When an error occurs, just come back to your notepad, you find something. For example, you might find a small space
If, for
between
example,
the full column and the.
if I put a lower T, okay, and that is what I'm putting. Let me save this. UTH, okay. I go back to my LMS. Sorry?
Yeah.
I go back to my LMS, I come to question bank.
Yeah. Administration down. Post administration down.
Okay. Yeah. Import. I can format. Then I got my file there. I can use a file picker actually to get it. Browse, choose. I go to desktop. That one. Open, upload this file. Import. It's not giving me what I want.
Do you leave no space between?
File. Let's overwrite what we have there. Then reports. Okay. So one says one question was okay. So we had errors on line 19. Question not completely before next question start on line 19. That means starting line 19, we have an error that we need to look at. So error found simply equal to final questions. Okay, that's okay. And also next question starts on line 21. So now when you go back to your notepad, you go on notepad. That is line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it will take us to about where that line is. And then you should be able to pick out this, that, and this. And answer, yes. So the moment you correct this to capital N, this two, that, this two, capital T, and this two, that, save the changes. So even if you close that, now you go back to your LMS. I can format, come and import your file, drag it and drop it there. Ask us to overwrite everything at some point. Okay. So I can format, we pick our file from wherever it is. It's that I think. Select it and overwrite what was there. I can format, find, import.
You are on mute, say.
Sorry?
Oh, yeah, it's okay. So we're saying that you can view your question bank incrementally. Like for topic 1, you can select maybe 10 questions. You put in the bank, and even you set a quiz for that particular topic. Then when you come to topic 2, you add another. So to an extent where at the end of your course, you have built up many, many questions, and you can even add more. So during the time you are setting up the quiz, you select which question. See, when you're going to, not that every question bank can be put in the quiz that you want. So that's what I wanted to add, but nothing else.
Thank you so much, Francis. This is the quiz we set up where I went and edited it. So we can now start an attempt. When the moment you open says attempt quiz now, start attempt. The moment you say start attempt, then you will start the quiz. So it will start timing you as you fill in whatever you fill in. That's until all the questions are done. That's one page. So now you have finished attempts. First to verify whether you really want to submit. If that is what you wanted to do and you want to return back and make changes, fine. But submit all and finish. So submit and finish. Then it will give you a mark at some points. So that is that we have. And we didn't set so many restrictions at the end of the day. So with that, allow me to end here and wish you a happy practice. Yes.
It's a request to put your phone
Available.
Noted. Sorry, Doctor. Yes.
I am very sorry I said that. I had 2 questions. The one on the lesson, and then also this one, the question about I want to upload your resident account. Your notepad, can you continuously just keep doing the questions at a time and put in the question bank?
Can you? Can you?
Do a few questions, take them to
The bank.
again.
Perfectly, yes. And that's what I said. At each and every module, you may have a few questions. So you prepare them, put them in the bank, keep quiet.
Same file.
You can use the same file as a template. Use the same file, notepad as a template. Simply copy, paste here, format the way it's supposed to be done, then upload to the question bank. Or you can add one question at a time, but that one is what it means. But also in the manual, we are going to find out from him. The manual is there, and there should be that section for adding questions into the question bank. That section is there with the screenshots. So don't worry so much.
So when I'm getting the money,
I'm not sure I will find out from you. Yes, I will be able to communicate.
the other one is on the lesson. When that was a lesson of where suggestion that I should not have 2 pages in the lesson. I mean, 2 pages.
No, it is okay. I was simply giving a difference between a lesson and the SCORM package.
But it was not Prof. Prof said that you see the student has to start here and then again say next.
Yes. Now, basically what he wanted, I think, one, that if you're putting up a lesson, then the activities should also be able, we should be able to have some activities as well. Now, looking at the activities, they were not guiding enough. If you look at what we went through, that is 1. 2, he also did mention about the start of that unit. Because you're not there, I am the one sitting alone by myself to go through your units. So what I go through will actually tell me whether I'm going to enjoy the unit or not. It must have an introduction.
That one is okay.
Yes.
I noted this.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought maybe you wanted me to remove 1 page.
No. All right. Any other? Those online, any questions for those online? Tadesi. So, okay.
It seems the screen is frozen. We can't hear.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much for the training, David, and the colleagues. It's so unfortunate that we had some power outages at Chino University of Technology, and I was constantly being kicked out. No, I don't want to miss anything. And I was thinking, if it is possible, I hope you were recording, that I get, maybe we get this presentation and training, maybe on email, because I wanted to go through it tonight so that I can actually put together what's what I have learned, what I managed to attend and what I missed, so that I can put them together. You know, before I forget, when it is still fresh.
Okay, the recording is available. I've been recording and on YouTube. So even before the recording comes, just go to YouTube, search for forum, you'll see today's presentation from morning up to now, and then try to go through it at your own pace.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Can we just give a very good answer? For the team, Professor Lubega, Drake, Mirembe Patrick, and our audience online, particularly, I know that we have very good supporters, including Professor Mugini, who is connecting from Zimbabwe University, Professor Chile, and the rest of you, a good number of people coming from Kumba. Yeah.